Why not put some light on the subject? Subject's MO climbs in second-story windows. And I have to tell you where I got this. That's a foramen. Oh, that might be a cavity too. Oh my good golly. Huh. Not gonna go through it all, but there's a picture of that up on the wall over there. That's a picture of my brain. That one. Oh, go up a couple. And across. It's a picture of my brain. No, this is a picture I talked about. Getting a picture of me standing next to the sign in Baghdad with Ron's thing. So I was looking through the photo albums to find that picture. Because it's in there. I used to be pretty good at keeping my photo albums together and, you know, in a way that says, it's where I was then, you know, just because it might be offensive. Doesn't mean the grandkid can't appreciate what you look like when you were a young man, virile and strong. And talk about strength. This is one, I found it in that one book I was looking for. It's got pictures of dead people, but it's not got the picture I was looking for. So there's no reason to bring it out. This was in there. I swore I mailed this to my sister. I think she gave it back to me. I've always been one to get nosebleeds all through my life. There's probably something to that. But I had a nosebleed by the CQ desk, the charge of quarters desk in the HHC 307th Engineer Battalion, Airborne, 82nd Airborne Division, type of thing. I was standing there giggling and I had a nosebleed. And so I took a pencil with the eraser and I put it into my nose as it bled. And I made this self-portrait. I used the pencil eraser to draw the blood on. This is in my blood. If you can get a hold of this, I got my fingernails right here and there's some hair in the bathroom. You could probably tell me what to do. Mailed that to my sister. I'm finding this stuff looking through these things because of the damn video that I did where we did, Victoria and I, where we, it's basically an epilogue and it's not an unbagging, both thrown in there, talking about one of the guy, I sponsored him, you know, his visit. He came for the 2-year checkup. And we did an epilogue and you know, basically a diagnosis of the whole thing. And somewhere in there we get to Alaska. The bums and everything. I say I took that paper and I threw it in the ocean. Probably next to the batteries. But I feel like I need to talk about this now. And there might be a lot of stories about Alaska coming, because D-Day and I, when we went out there, standing on the dock in Seattle on a Sunday, and the skipper, Tony Bauer, owner, proprietor, or whatever the hell he was, of the Pandad, which means scavenger, I guess, he said, "So you boys out here are looking for a bit of adventure?" I was 23. If you hadn't had any adventure by the time you're 23, you're really not living your life, I suppose. And I looked at him and I said, "No, sir." I said, "We're just out here to work hard and make some money." And we got hired. And I'd mentioned farming in my past and the military, and D-Day mentioned the military. And when D-Day mentioned just the military, Skipper Tony Bauer, he said, the military doesn't mean much to me, but farming is something. You know, the idea that just because you were in the military makes you a hard worker. It means you can take it with a Article 15 here and there, get through it, because it's too much to train a new guy. Fill your corpse. And we got on that boat. There are many great stories that go along with that. And I had it about 25% written. I had this story. I had our trip out and where it was really getting into the meat, you know. And then I moved and I lost track of all that stuff. So I'm just going to start telling stories about fish in Alaska because Ron brought it up. Talked about in that epilogue thing, which I am sure I will add to the description down there if it works. I don't know. How I took the paperwork to get free food, and I made a joke, threw it in the ocean, probably next to the batteries. But on the way up, when we stopped in Sitka, D-Day, we took inland waters from Seattle. When we stopped in Sitka, and other stuff happened before that, we were running into shit everywhere. We picked up some batteries off the dock, boat batteries. We were sitting there at dock next to a yacht, and the skipper in the dead of night said, "Come on, boys, we need to get these batteries," because he's a scavenger. And so we picked up these batteries, these giant damn boat batteries, and we took them down into the whatever you call it. They call it a hull or something. I don't know. I was on the boat. It doesn't mean I need to speak the language. Then when we headed out to fish after some more near collisions out of Sitka. Sitka's actually the second place that I ingested fossil fuels on that trip. It was early on. We're going out, and there was a guy that was on the boat in Seattle that jumped off in Seattle, or Sitka, Alaska. He said, "Goodbye." And it's too bad. He looked like he knew what he was doing. He had experience and he was strong. He was ready for the job, but he was on a bad boat. And so he got the hell off without a job in mind in Sitka, Alaska. And we picked up this other person to replace him. And it was Mary. And Mary was a good worker, but she had a good attitude about living. She cared about things. Oh no, this isn't gonna work. And so we're pulling out of Sitka. And once we got out to sea, skipper Tony Bauer, he's dead now, I can talk about him. He's coming down and saying to me, I'm not going to implicate D-Day in this. He said, we need to throw these batteries overboard. They're leaking all over the place. Somebody had them out by the trash, and he had us picking these things up, and now they've got acid coming out of them. They're leaking through the damn hole, whatever you call it, the bottom of the boat down there. And he's like, we got to throw them out. It was dark. It was pitch black. And he says, we can't let the girl know. And I'm just sitting there, I'm going, we're about to do something totally illegal right here. And not only illegal, you know, it's like when Clint Eastwood plays John Huston in The Great White Hunter, I think that's what it's called. He's talking to that younger kid, one of his assistants or something. He's saying, you know, this isn't a crime. He wanted to kill an elephant. He said, it's not a crime. It's a sin. That's why he wanted to do it. He wanted to stand against everything that fucking existed, you know? And so here he's saying, don't let the girl know. And I'm thinking, because she would see it as a crime, and it was a crime. And it was a sin. Being a scuba diver since then and seeing what lives under the ocean and how friendly it is and how much of a community everything is down there without us fucking them up. You look and you go, yeah, that's a sin. And during the dark of night, we pitched the fucking boat batteries. And I had even thought about, you know, what do you call it? An unlawful order. For him to say you need to throw this off the boat, it's an unlawful order. But what we realize is that sometimes when we're out at sea and you can't see which way to shore. And really, I didn't go through all this. I said, well, I guess gotta get rid of this shit. I didn't feel good about it, but I didn't put this much thought into it. If I'd have put this much thought into it, I might have been tied to a fucking boat battery at the bottom of the ocean right now. I really regretted not kicking him off the boat side of the boat when he was pissing. He's dead anyway, right? What's the difference? Just a little bit sooner? If I'd have known everything I'd known about him? I thought, oh, it would have been so easy. That doesn't mean I would have done it. But I would have thought it had been so easy. But I didn't. And so we're throwing batteries in the ocean. There are all these things down there. And you can go the other way. You can say the two worms from Mars can live on methane. There's got to be something that can live on fucking battery acid. Many stories. Just the dereliction of everything. If you're going to throw a battery in the ocean, don't think about it for another 10 years. And if you have to go dredge up a battery that's been dropped in the ocean, and you're one of these people that's like a government scuba diver, there's got to be a job for that. And you find my name on a free food list, they're at the bottom of the ocean. I know they've got the technology right now. Please, do me a favor and burn it.